Right, well, here we are. We're going to start trying to program a game in Python. The reason I say trying is because I actually don't know what it's going to look like at all. But I'd like to at least start with something that basically has a setup portion and a game loop portion. We still don't quite know if there are any win conditions or whether this is just an open world game or how it's going to work. But if we go and take a look, here we have a decent amount of stuff that we can do. So I gave us little stubs here called setup game and game loop. So the setup is going to happen at the beginning, and the game loop is going to happen over and over until the game's over. So we give in our main function game status equals setup game, and game loop takes the game status, and then we just loop ad infinitum. We loop until the game's over. This is what makes the actual game run. So here is kind of the starting point to if you wanted to start developing a game. And if we run it, Python3 game.py, that's just giving us all of our to-dos. To do welcome folks to the game, so it does that. To do get character name, gives us that. To do make character with 100 HP and the name. Okay. To do print relevant game status. Okay. To do give option to attack monster. To do give option to rest long or short and recover HP. And give it option to end the turn. So, I guess first we need to welcome folks to the game. So we can do something like print welcome to the game. We still don't know what we're doing. LOL. You can see here we've gone and taken our text and put it in between quotation marks. There's a quotation mark here, and there's a quotation mark here. This is called a string, and this is how we go and we add a bunch of letters together. So now we've welcomed folks to the game. We'll save that and try running our game again. Now it says, welcome to the game. We still don't know what we're doing, LOL. Now, how do we get a character name? One way is Python's inbuilt input function. So we can, so input goes and puts something on the screen. Like I'll give you an example. Input, type something here. If we run that, it says welcome to the game. It says type something here. I type something, and then it just keeps on going. But it actually gives us a result here too. So if we go and we say text in equals this, and then we want to print you inputted text in, you do what's called an F string, which lets us go and put this text in from here into the string there. Now it gets us to say, we typed something in here, we typed in something, it says you inputted something. We run this again, type something here, we type something else. That tells us that you inputted something else. So we got something about our how to get text in. But instead of doing that, we can go and say name in equals input. What is your name? Or please input your name, something like that. Please input your name. And then we can say, instead of you inputted this, you can say, hello, name in. Or we could say name equals, well, we'll do something here in a bit. We'll run the game. Hit Control-C to cancel. We'll run the game. Please input your name. I'm Matt. Hello, Matt. There. So we've got that part done. But we haven't made a character with the name yet. So the way we'll do that, get rid of our to-do. Make a character with 100 HP in the name. This involves us bundling some information about a character together. So we're going to have a name and how many HP the character has. So 100 hit points, that kind of makes sense. So we have to explore what a class is in Python. And a class is kind of a template for putting down a bunch of data. So if you have, you know, an eye color, a hair color, a nose length, a height, whatever, and you bundle all of that together into a description of a person, you can make a person class. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a class player. And there's going to be a function init, which initializes the player. You always need to, unless you want to have blank classes, you need to have some sort of an init function that initializes your player. And it's a weird Python thing, but you need to pass it self. That just means that it's something that the player can do, and you can give it a name. And then you can set self.name equals name. And then you can also set self.health equals 100. And then down here, where we're making our character, we can say player equals player with a name. And we want to make it so like we have all caps or something. We can do name in dot upper. And that goes and takes whatever we put into this name in, whatever we inputted into it, and it makes our player. And then we're going to need to have some sort of a we can just return the player to start out with. That means that here, when this setup game function is done, it gives us the player that we set up. We'll be changing this at some point later. But we'll start with just having a player. And that will be a player with name and health. I think str is a string representation of our character, and we can go and make it name character name and health. Now we can make all these pieces line up nicely. instead of saying hello, or we can say hello. And now I can print our player info. I'm not sure if that'll work, because I don't remember if I did the right stuff in Python, but we can check and see. We'll run it. Welcome to the game. We still don't know what we're doing, LOL. Please input your name. I'm Matt. Hello, Matt. Player info. Okay, there is something wrong here. Error name is not defined. Oh yes, I forgot here. We need to say on this line here, we can't just type in name, we have to do self.name and self.health. We can try that. My name is Matt. And now it's given us our player info. We can even get rid of this line here. And save that and try again. And now it says hello Matt, character name Matt, health 100. So we now have successfully welcomed our user, made a character, and we can return to the game's status idea. We'll be able to add more. We'd have to be able to add more players, and the more players we add, the more complex it becomes. So we're probably going to need to have some sort of a game status class to hold all of the game status information at some point. But right now we just have a player, and our setup game returns us a player. So if we go down to the bottom of our, we now have set game status equals setup game. That is what we're starting with. And then we run a game loop with our status. So our game loop, so it's going to print the relevant game status. We already did that here on lines 17 and 18. So what we can do is cut those lines and put them here in order to print the relevant game status. We have player equals player name and dot upper. No, actually, we'll keep the player equals player name and dot upper right here. Return the player, and since the player is what you're putting into the game status, we can print game status. And get rid of our to-do, I think. Save that and run our program again. Welcome to the game. We still don't know what we're doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. See what happens if I put my whole name there. Hello, Matt Leineck. And we have our game status here. Character, name Matt Leineck, health 100. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now we'd like to have an option to attack a monster. So we don't know what the monster is, but if we go and we would need to go and somehow set up a fight between a monster and a player. So what happens if we make a class for a battle or a skirmish? I don't quite know how that works. But it takes a player and a monster. And I don't know, it'll give us some sort of a result. I don't even know how we do this. We would probably need to make a monster class here too. Class monster. And level. And then we can say self.attack damage equals level times 10. And then we can say def, I don't know, we've given it an attack damage, and we'd like to say the self.health equals level. Let's just say self.attack damage equals level times 2. And health is level times 10. And we can have B attacks. Yeah, I don't know. We can say receive damage. Self.health equals self.health minus damage. And def deal damage, self damage. Return self-attack damage. Well, thank you, David. Thank you, David. You can leave it right there at the door. Thank you, David. You can leave it right there at the door. Okay. Thank you, David.
Here's your newspaper.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Okay. There's I got my newspaper. And we can get back to dealing damage. We can probably say if self dot health less than or equal to 0, print monster died. And init to receive damage and deal damage. And then I probably need to go and we probably need to also do receive damage same exact idea. Self.health equals self.health minus damage. And yeah, if self health print self.name died. actually have dealt with death by actually removing the player, but we can probably also do self dot is alive equals false. Self dot is alive equals true. Or we can leave that. We can leave it. We have receive damage. We probably also need to do a deal damage function. I guess we can just give ourselves self.attack damage equals 10. So I guess for our little skirmish we need to make a monster. So we can go and make a monster. It'll be really bad and we'll just put it right here. Right after our monster, we can make a monster. It's a monster of level 1. And then we can, rather than making a skirmish as a class, we can make a skirmish where the player attacks the monster. So monster damage equals player dot deal damage. Player damage taken by monster equals player dot deal damage, and damage taken by player equals monster dot deal damage. And then we can do player dot take damage taken by player, and monster dot take damage taken by monster. Alright, let's see if that all makes any kind of a sense. We've made our skirmish thing. So that we can say, give option to attack monster. Print type S to skirmish with monster. Take your action. And if input or if in in is a game input equals S skirmish game status monster. Currents We'll put our health in there. And then for monster, I guess it's receive damage. Monster took damage. Else. Print monster died. Else. Print monster. Health. Alright, let's see if we've done all that. Let's see if any of this works. Okay. We'll run our game. Please input my name. I'm Matt. On that character, type S to skirmish with monster. Take my action. Well, I'll just do S. Monster dot take damage. Deal damage. Let's see. I say monster take damage or receive damage. Ah, yes. Can't do take damage. You do receive damage. And player dot receive damage. Ugh, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. There we go. Put my name. Same general idea. Skirmish. Monster took 10 damage. Monster died. Matt took 2 damage. Current health 98. Cool. So we got something there. And now we need to give an option to rest and recover health. Okay. So all of these up here are definitions. We define what a monster is. We made ourselves a monster. We'll fix that at some point. We've defined a skirmish between a player and a monster. We've defined our player, how to receive damage, how to deal damage. We've set up our game with one player. And we've set up our game loop. So we've figured out how to skirmish. We probably need to give ourselves something else. Else if game input equals R. We can do rest. If game input is R, type S to skirmish with monster. I probably want to do type R to rest. All right. So in player, we want to have def rest. And we'll say a rest type, so it can be short or long. The rest type is short. Health equals let's see. Missing health equals 100 minus self.health. Self.health will do long. Self.health equals 100. If rest type equals short, self.health equals 100 minus missing health divided by 2. Yeah, it gives you half of it. I'm trying to think, what do you do for ceiling and floor? We'll just keep it here for now. Self.health equals 100 minus missing health dot 2. Else, I don't know. And then we can print times health rested and now has self.health health. Okay. Alright, so if game opponents, we need to rest game status. Or we can do game status dot rest. I don't know. Alright, so if it's R, then we're going to need to go in rest type is input S for short rest, L for long rest. Or we'll just say short for short rest, L for long rest. So if they do something, they type it wrong, that's their problem. Short for short rest, long for long rest. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I can't remember. Is it elif? That's what it is in Python. Elif. This is else if. Now, if we have R, then we'll want a short or long for long rest, and we rest for that length. Please put my name. Dingley Doof Wee. Okay, I'm Dingley Doof Wee. Health 100. I can type S to skirmish with monster. Monster took 10 damage, died. Dingley Doof Wee took 2 damage. I'm current health 98. Alright. Now I guess I need to make it into a loop. going to take the beginning of the line, indent at 4. Cool. Run our game. Skirmish. R rest. Short. Oh, you can see I screwed things up here a little bit. Because I was asking a question. If missing health is 100, I want to set it equal to 100 minus the health. There we go. Save that and try again. Skirmish, health 98, rest, short. Yes. Get to see all the mistakes that I make. We have to do self.name here. See, it says here, here's our error, our traceback. Calls are main, calls game loop, calls game status dot rest. And it says here, print f name rested and now has health left. Name doesn't exist, but self.name does exist. So we go and change this to self.name. Remember, whenever we're dealing with a class of something, we need to, all the attributes are going to be the thing of the self, the health of the self, the attack damage of the self, and so on. Anyhow, we'll skirmish. I'm at 98 health. I'll rest. Short. I rested and now have 99 health. Alright. If I rest long, I have a health. 100 health. Okay, cool. We probably want to also do... probably want to actually give the option to end the game. Q. Quit. Or we can just do exit game. And the reason I say exit game instead of quit is because at some point we might want to save our game state rather than having to start a new game. And we can put all that into the exit game function rather than just straight up quitting without saving. But right now it's perfectly fine to just quit. But in the meantime I have to type R to rest, Q to quit. Cool. So I can, right now I can type in Control C to quit because that's just what you do. You know that you have to Control plus C quit something if you're running it in the terminal. Run our game, and put my name, skirmish, 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 skirmish. Okay, cool. Rest. Short. 95 health. Rest. Short. 97.5 health. Okay. Things got a little weird there. Rest. Long. You to quit. Okay. So we may want to fix the having fractional health here which we'll do at some later video. Right now, I think this is plenty of information to get you going on how to. Well, we can make our input line a little bit nicer. We can put colon. So I have a colon space instead of just having it look ugly. Because you see how it's this short for short versus long for long versus short. We can make it look a little prettier, and then after that we can be done. And that's a skirmish, 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 skirmish. We're down to 90 health. We'll rest. Short. Up to 95. Rest. Up to 97.5. Rest. 98.75. Okay, I can keep on doing this. Take a long rest. Up to 100 health. You can type Q to quit. And we're done. So that's how you go from a bare bones game to having a monster, to doing a skirmish, to having a player. Should probably actually make the player. I'll move the skirmish here until after the player. There, I put the skirmish there instead. But now you can see that it's already getting a little clunky. We had 90 lines of code just to do that. So for next time, our agenda is going to be clean up our health the way we have fractional health, and learn to organize our code a little bit more so we don't wind up having multiple screens worth of code to think about at a time. We want to be able to keep things nice and smooth and easy to think about rather than having to go up and down and everywhere, getting ourselves lost in our code. Well, that is all for today. Talk to you later.